Hello, hello, everyone. You're welcome. You're welcome. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know where you're watching from, everybody. Today is a very important live. Welcome. Yep. Welcome, everyone. I think it's better on my phone. I think my laptop is not really good. Welcome, everyone. Let me know where you're watching from. I kind of feel that the lighting is very flu when using my laptop than when I use my phone. I don't know why. Please let me know where you're watching from. Today we'll be talking about vaginal dryness, how to fix vaginal dryness. And this is something that a lot of people are going through. A lot of women are experiencing this. So this is a life for you to all get involved. Let me know where you're watching from, please. So that I can greet you. Good morning, bonjour, wherever you are. Buenos dias, bon dia, namaste. Um, Wherever you are, I'm greeting you. I think this image is really poor, or and the lighting is so good. I don't know why it's so bad, but my lighting here is so good. I think that this is the lighting with my Laptop isn't good. Wait, let me see something. No, it isn't good. I think I'm going to try and use my phone, but it's not going to be this good. It's not going to be broad like this. Not happy. Let me check. Let me check how it looks like on my phone. Let me check how this live looks on my. Let me check how this live looks on my. Let me check how this live looks on my. Check how this live. I think it's okay. I think the lighting is good. Oh, watching from Togo. Nice meeting you. Okay, all right then. I was thinking it was very flu. That means that my screen is just not very clean because I was just trying to get a good image. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I was just trying to get everyone. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you for helping me with that. I wanted to be sure with the lighting because I do have my ring on, so I wanted to be sure that it is. Hello, everyone. Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. Là où vous êtes. Bon dia, buenos dias, ¿cómo estás? Namaste. Um, Not flow as per your description. Okay, that's great because I was almost stopping the live and trying to use my phone because maybe it's just my screen that's not really clear. But I think when I use my phone to view it, I think it's okay. So today we're talking about vaginal dryness. And one thing I want you guys to know is vaginal dryness is not only or doesn't only affect older women. You will see a young girl of about from sometimes who are sexually active from the age of 25 to even 35 experience vaginal dryness. And I'm telling you, this is crazy. I think that vaginal dryness is one of the main reasons for vaginal tears. There are still a lot of women who have pain during sex and vaginal tears. Um, Now, I've done some videos on vaginal um, tears, and I think also on vaginal dryness, also on pain during sex. And I think you should watch them. I think by the end of this video, I'm going to leave it at the end screen so we can all watch, so that you can all get enlightened and know how um, to proceed. Somebody is saying, "Welcome back." Welcome back. Let me see your chats. Welcome back, Doctor. You have been missing. Yes, I've been working. I've been working. I think I should take some time to greet people before I really go into it. I'll give another 5 minutes to greet people so that we can start. I've been really missing. I've been working. Um, Hi, Kaz. Um, Hi, Rose. Yes, I've been working. I have my business part time that I do full time, and I do this part time. And although I love doing it, you know, YouTube is not what it used to be before. YouTube is not as friendly as it was before. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Cass. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for for all the wishes. How have you guys been? What have you guys been up to? Let me know what you guys have been up to. What have you been up to so far? Just work? Just work or just work, work, work? Is it just work, work you guys have been up to? Anyway, let me get right into it so that we can all focus on the main topic for today. I actually have a group of videos, a collection of topics that I wanted to talk about during this period. And I was just thinking that many people are out for summer holidays. Many people are out for outdoors activities. Many people have traveled, and I was just thinking, I'm also so busy and thinking of relocating. So I was like, how am I going to be able to deliver all this content to you guys? So I was just thinking, I think the best way is for me to come on live when I can, and then I can chat with everybody. We can, it's more interesting when we are chatting like this. So I just said, okay, let me come and so that everybody can, it's more interactive. Work is well, all right. Live here in Saudi, Riyadh. Where is that? Is that Saudi Arabia, or where is that? Where is that? Your previous teaching has enhanced serious awareness in marital lives. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kaz. A lot of people don't know that I actually counsel married people from, especially my YouTube channel. Most people for free. I don't charge for it. And this is why I am always, pleading on everyone to support by just smashing that subscribe button. It doesn't bite. It supports the channel and YouTube shares it to more people. Even if you can't comment, at least you can give a thumbs up and you can just subscribe. You know, I do this for free because I love it. I do business now, and my business is mostly into cosmetics and a little bit of health. And but since I cannot depart from my microbiology, I cannot depart from medical microbiology, no matter how I try. The knowledge is still there, the teachings are still there, and there are a lot of people who are not aware of these things. So this is why I want to plead with all of you. That button doesn't bite. I have a lot of people whom I cancel out of YouTube who are really, really grateful for all the counsel. And it's a lot of patience. It's a lot of patience. I'll be very honest, it's a lot of patience. Because especially when we are adults, it's very difficult for people to adjust. And we live in a generation where people don't believe in marriage. People believe in exiting the marriage because of a little misunderstanding, where people think it's a marriage is a scam, where people think that intimate in marriage cannot be adjusted. It's it's so it's so sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. Let me continue reading. Let's like the video, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. So um these are some of the things that we shouldn't allow to derail us, because we live in a society where promiscuity is being promoted. We live in a society where marriage is not honored, it's not divine, it's not attractive. We live in society where random sex is the talk of the day. In fact, by the time you're scrolling on social media, the only thing you can see is, you know, immorality. You either somebody is just posting dogs, animals having sex, having, I mean, nothing educational, nothing that can make them better. Even the movies in the movies that are being created today, or the skits that are being created today by some content creators, is all discrediting genuine love, genuine relationship, genuine sexual satisfaction. It's always making you doubt your relationship or your partner. And in as much as there are some people who are really, really, really not good, like narcissists, people who are really toxic, they are genuine people. And these genuine people make mistakes. And I wouldn't advise anybody to quit their relationship because of a misunderstanding. It's ridiculous. Don't quit your relationship because intimacy is not good. Please don't quit your relationship because you are not feeling your spouse as you used to. Not good. Don't quit your relationship, your marriage, because you have to work it out. Life is a battlefield. You have to work it out. What is the guarantee? What is the guarantee that, if you leave and meet the person, it won't be the same thing? Why can't you sit down, talk, and be patient? Why do we always feel that it's so green on the other side? There are many men today that leave their wives. Okay, we're talking about vaginal sex, that leave their wives because they are constantly dry. There are many women today who leave their husbands because maybe she's always having vaginal tears. Maybe he's not good. Maybe something, he's having erectile dysfunction. Maybe something is off with his, his cycle, or with his sexuality. And the same for men. Men do that even more than women. A man doesn't really have that patience with a woman who has a sexual dysfunction like a woman has patience for a man who has a sexual dysfunction. To some extent, I think that women put up with a lot of dysfunctionality, sexual dysfunctionality in their partners, in their husbands, than men put up with a woman's dysfunctionality. A man can have an erectile dysfunction or have a sexual problem, and he would expect the woman to understand and be there. That's reality. Let's talk about the truth about that's the truth about what's going on. On the other hand, a lady who has a vaginal dryness, or let's say has tears or something that have that low libido or something, the man is impatient. And this is to say that although we know that men are very selfish people when it comes to uh you know this sexual thing. And one of the things that I've always pleaded with couples to do is, when it comes to the matter of oral contraceptives, of birth controls, both man and woman should be involved. What happens is the woman is constantly on birth control. She's having spotting, she's having mood swings, she's having low sperm, sorry, she's having low libido. I said low sperm count. She's having low libido and all those things. And the guy is not seeking out on how to help his wife, to carry the load for her. Men, you are supposed to understand your assignment. You're supposed to make a woman's life easy, you know, talking about premenstrual stress, pregnancy, menstrual pain, all those hormonal changes in a woman's body. You're supposed to help her because if you don't know, if your wife is on birth control, especially hormonal birth control, she is always, I mean, always going to be having low libido, low sex drive, and vaginal dryness. Look, you have to help your spouse. And this is why I want to say for men, for some men who have if you are a man or you are in a relationship in a marriage and you and your wife have finished having kids, it's very important that the man should think about having a vasectomy. A vasectomy does not mean that you won't be ejaculating. You will be ejaculating normally, but without semen. We live in a day and age, in fact, a man's selfishness is it's so bad that you see a woman. Look, I worked at the hospital before, and you see, a woman is coming for checkup for fertility, but the man does not show up. Men, fathers, let's do better. Let's be better. You are leader. You are a leader. You are a king. You are supposed to allow your wife thrive under you, your children. Being a leader, being a man makes you a servant. You serve your wife, you serve your children in your role, in your gender role, in the roles of your gender as a man, your masculinity. I worked at the hospital for a couple of months, and women would always come for checkup. And even for those couples that are, taking antiretrovirals for, let me see, an HIV, AIDS, or some sexually transmitted disease, you have the women who will always come for checkup, but the men don't come for checkup. It's very, very disturbing, guys. It's very, very disturbing that a man who is a leader, who is a king, who is supposed to be the umbrella of his wife does not is not even sensitive enough to know that, okay, let me follow my spouse to the hospital and let's both get checked up. you know I worked at a hospital, and 70% of the women who came to the hospital picked up STDs from their men. I know this is not part of our topic today, but I need to talk about this so that it will help us as individuals and in your marriage, in your relationships. Now, now you're going to ask me, how will I know that it was gotten from the woman? Okay, how will I why am I saying that? It's supposed to, how am I going to know that the man didn't get it from the woman? I know that's what you're going to say, but the truth is, when you do your test, medical test, you are going to see the viral load. Now, the viral load, yes, or the bacterial load, or the load of the microorganism in the individual. Now, probability is that the person with the higher microbial load should have been the one who would have contracted the disease first. Because remember, in my previous videos that I spoke on about sexually transmitted diseases, oral sex, I told you, and a lot of the other sexually transmitted diseases, I mentioned to you that many people can be asymptomatic. Many people can be carrying a sickness in their bodies for years and they look so healthy, but they are healthy carriers and they never show one symptom. So, with this, I have to say, guys, please make sure you support your wives, your partner, when she's going through these phases, or when it has to, be supportive, be there as the umbrella, the protector, the leader, the captain of your boat. I mean, you cannot allow the woman to be leading. You see, what I notice in, in all the, like in most of the relationships in which I cancel, I notice that when it comes to prayer, the spirituality of the home, when it comes to the health matter of the home, that is, if the guy is not a medical professional or a health professional, it's the women who are always the leaders. The men, or some men, are only leaders when it comes to particular things. But things you're supposed to do, you don't do it. So now, before we go into how to fix vaginal dryness, let's tackle some of the causes of vaginal dryness. Thanks for joining. For all those who have joined so far, let's tackle them. Let's tackle, um, this issue of vaginal dryness. What are the causes? Number one, birth controls, contraceptives, especially oral contraceptives. Those that will cause, your hormones to go. Trust me, it is something that you cannot you cannot avoid. There are a lot of oral contraceptives that cause vaginal dryness and that cause low libido. In fact, it makes a woman not to really self lubricate like she should. The next point is hormonal imbalance. Hormonal imbalance, let's talk about hormonal imbalance, those caused by, let me say, a disease, some diseases that are out there. And when a lady has hormonal imbalance, note this: her estrogen level is going to drop, and then she's going to, have a decrease in her level of fluid release or self lubrication, and she's going to be experiencing vaginal dryness. And if it's not sorted, she's going to be having vaginal tears and pain during sex. So this should not be ignored. Estrogen is very important for lubricating the vagina. Estrogen is needed at the right levels. At the right levels. If a woman has very high testosterone, it's going to be a problem. If she has very low testosterone, this is going to be a problem. If she has very high estrogen levels, that's going to be a problem too. And if she has very low estrogen levels, that's going to be a problem. And the next point is age. As a woman ages, this is the third point. As a woman ages, she experiences a drop. Menopause, she experienced a drop in estrogen. And what happens is a drop in estrogen can cause the lining of the vagina to become thin, very thin. And this also happens with hormonal imbalance. It becomes very thin and she does not lubricate as much. And during intercourse, she's really, really dry. It takes a long time for her to really self lubricate. And the next point is little or no foreplay. Now, during my counseling sessions, I noticed that a lot of men, or some men, don't know how to pleasure their wives or get their partners in the mood, or they don't know how to stimulate their partner. Like foreplay to them is like, what's going on? I've done videos on that. I did a video on how to stimulate a woman's breast. I did that. I did a video on how to get wet easily. I've done a lot of videos to enhance the sexuality of both a man and a woman. So please do watch. Now the next is douching, or you know, what most women in some regions, in some communities, what they do is they actually, you know, take some concoctions and either they take alum or they will take cloves water, they will take treaty water, they will take essential oils, what they call, some perfumes, they will put it in a pump. This pump they use with in children to pump, they put some warm water into it and then you pump the anus so that it cleans out the rectum. So some ladies would use that same device or that same device to put in their warm water, all their concoction, their herbs, their scents, their perfumes, and pump it into their vagina, lie on their back, and then make sure it sits in there for a bit with the aim of purifying, cleansing, perfuming that area. So this is not good, guys. I know a lot of people are bounded by cultural beliefs, tradition, rituals. You know, avoid it. Avoid it. Now, the next point is local vaginal rejuvenation. That is tightening, and what I see or the comments I read under most of my even in my emails. I had some people, some of my sisters, my females in different countries, who actually told me that they actually would blend some cloves, some aniseed. They will clean some star anise. They will crush some nice scented rosemary, perfume some herbs. And when they have crushed them, when they have them and it's in a paste, what they do is that they will use a tampon or their fingers and they will send a good quantity. Even alum, they do that with alum. They will send a good quantity into their vagina. And sometimes they will sleep with it. They will actually sleep with it and get up in the morning. And they believe that when they go pee, it's actually going to come out. Now, it's not, you know, the hole through which you pee from is different from your vagina hole. The hole through which you have sex through is different from where you pee. And I know that both men and women are confused about this. There are some women who believe that they pee through their vagina. So whatever you put in your vagina, alum is just worse. Now, the reasons why you feel that you are having you have succeeded in tightening or your vagina is because um, you experience this kind of damage. What it does is that it goes and damage the epithelial walls, the walls, the lining of your vagina. So what happens is after some time, when you are having sex, you will feel that it's actually, tight, but it's just because the walls have been dried out, have been damaged. And you see, women who do a lot of this local or ceremonial vagina tightening, lubrication, one thing you're going to know is that they actually do not enjoy sex. I'll be very honest. Because all those things you put in there would damage the lining of the vagina, change the pH of the vagina. Not only that, the walls are going to be so fragile that when a man goes in or goes out, when a manhood goes in and goes out, you will feel like it's tight. But that's actual vaginal dryness. And if the guy goes in rigorously for a long period of time, you would experience pain during sex. I've done several videos on vagina tightening, using clothes of vagina tightening, using alum, side effects, and all that. Please do watch. Now, some drugs. Now, some drugs cause vagina dryness. Now, when you start taking or when you're sexually active and you notice that you are having a vaginal dryness, think about the medication you're taking. Think about the concoction you are drinking. Think about any additional or the food you have just consumed. Think about, you know, what has happened 2 days prior to you noticing that you are having a vaginal dryness. And number seven, hard drugs. Now, every woman who smokes, who takes, who is a drunkard, who takes a lot of alcohol, hard drugs, cocaine, heroin, experience vaginal dryness. And one way that a lady can actually determine if she is having vaginal dryness is the dryness of the mouth. Once you're experiencing a dry mouth constantly, know that down, not because of thirst, know that down there you are going to be experiencing vaginal dryness. Now, for those who take hard drugs, who smoke, you can already know from your mouth that down there is going to be so bad. And the next is diseases, autoimmune diseases, whether it's Graves' disease, Alzheimer's, all the diseases uh, that involve nerves, in fact, blood flow, cardiac, the nerves, the blood vessels. Oh yes, you're going to be having vaginal dryness because blood doesn't flow freely towards your genitals as a lady. When there's, those who are having high blood pressure, low blood pressure, diabetes, every woman in that category will experience vaginal dryness. Let's not leave out chemotherapy. Chemotherapy would also cause vaginal dryness, and also long-term treatment of more than 4 months. You expect to have vaginal dryness. And in these cases, I'm expecting the ladies to understand their bodies more. Another is cause of vaginal dryness is breastfeeding, lactating. When a woman is breastfeeding, her progesterone goes up and her estrogen goes down. Remember that as a lady, when you start experiencing vaginal tears, vaginal dryness, pain during sex, down there is so dry, your estrogen levels have got an issue. And so have the other points, also taking into consideration the other points I have mentioned. So when she stops lactating or breastfeeding, then only then will her hormones be balanced out. Now, ladies who have undergone um, uh, treatment or surgeries, let me say, taking out their womb, taking out their fallopian tubes, hello, vaginal dryness, any fertility kind of operation, most times, 90% of the time, leaves the woman with vaginal dryness. You see, just as erectile dysfunction annoys a man, keeps a man worried, keeps a man looking up, down, east and west, is the same way vaginal dryness, pain during sex, vaginal tears is to a woman. That's the equivalent. That's the equivalent. That's the equivalent. And also, we have also vaginal infections. In this case, we're talking about thrush, candida, fungal infections. Now, when you have this and some other vaginal infections, expect to have vaginal dryness. One of the reasons that I do these videos is One of the main reasons that I do this video is because We are all, everything about a human being is circled around their sexuality. I mean, if you have an amazing sexual health, you're going to have a splendid reproductive health. If you have an amazing sexual health, you're going to be very productive. I mean, I'm not trying to say that if you are not having sex, you will not be productive. Please, don't get me wrong. I'm trying to say that the issues that affect our sexual health affect our mental health. You would see a man and woman lose sleep, enter depression, develop high blood, low blood pressure, develop all kinds of diseases from the side effects of whatever they have drunk because they are trying to sort out their sexual problem. Guys, please don't take this lightly. I'm somebody who believes in lifestyle, not taking medication to sort out a problem. Why not attacking the cause? Why not looking at the cause? Most platforms or most hospitals, most treatments only focus on the symptoms, but they don't focus on the cause. I've done several videos on this channel talking about the different causes of these issues. What could cause a woman to have this? What could cause a man to have this? So please stay glued to this channel. Now, another thing that could cause a woman to have vaginal dryness is if she is not into the man, psychological issues. Psychological issues. How she feels about herself. Am I too overweight? Maybe she doesn't like how she looks down there. Maybe she's not really into the guy, or she has fallen out of love with the husband, or some, you know, challenges or stress in the marriage that could cause her to just lose interest. So these are the things you need to look to. Another thing that could cause vaginal dryness is spiritual spouses. If you have a spiritual husband, expect this to happen. Now, for those who are Christians, Satan hates marriage with every fiber of his being. So don't expect that if you are not hands-on your marriage, on your relationship, know that you will soon be packing out. Or your partner will say, okay, I'm out. So now let's look at how we can treat this. And we are going to first off, the treatment will depend on the cause. The first on my list is the birth controls. And instead of you taking up birth controls, you as the man and the woman should sit down and see if you both can, tie your tubes or get your tubes cut. Trust me, so that you can actually enjoy sex. If you are a woman and you are going through C-section or you're having your last pregnancy, I'm going to advise that while they're doing the C-section on you, just ask them to tie your tubes. Many people don't know that. Or just decide for your last pregnancy, you go on C-section and you ask them to tie your tubes. And that's it. And why not? You can also ask your husband to get his tubes tied. Because in some cases, there have been some reports that some people who have tied their tubes, you know, it got loosened, So you have to take, especially if you've decided that you are done. I think this should be done for both people. And also, hormonal therapy would have been the best, but hormonal therapy comes with a lot of side effects like cancer, a lot of health issues in the body. So health professionals have come up with different ways, And I did intensive research for you guys. So much love. I did intensive research on how I can help, on how I can help. So also, make sure you go to the hospital if you're noticing any form of funny discharge, if you're noticing like you're having vaginal thrush. With that vaginal thrush, it's not a smelly discharge, but what you will notice is that your discharge is like cottage cheese. And vaginal dryness is real, guys. It's real. Trust me. And then you can use lubricants, silicone based lubricants. I did a video on the different types of lubricants you should use and why your olive oil, your coconut oil, your macadamia, your jojoba oil that you get off the supermarket, the off the local market is not good for your vagina. I explained that in depth. Please get pharmaceutical grade oil based, silicone based, or water based lubricants for yourself. They're available everywhere and it's readily affordable. You could also get condoms that already have lubricants in them. I did a video on the downsides of condoms. I think my last video was on the downside of condoms, and it helped a lot of people to understand that you can have condom allergy. And not only that, some of the spermicides that are on them, some of the chemicals on them can actually cause actually condom allergy. And you should also do more foreplay. I think this is all about each person. If you are into oral sex, get into it. Discuss with your partner, get into oral sex. Teach your partner how to foreplay you. Now, if you have a partner that does not doesn't think it's important for him to listen to you and pleasure you, touch you the way you have told them, or maybe you have spoken and they don't really care. And whenever it's intimacy time, they just want you to open up and they go in and they do their thing, they discharge and they leave. I think that maybe you should reconsider. I think that maybe you should change your approach. I think that maybe you should change environment. Change the environment to which you have sex. Go on holidays together. Put the kids aside, you know, because if you are with somebody who is selfish and only thinks about his own desires, that's a problem. Now, a lot of men are going to say this, that ladies are always complaining about how many minutes we we can do on top of, we can be on top of them. It takes for us to come. But, you know, a man has never complained the 0 second that a woman takes when she's on top of her man. Ladies, how can we be criticizing men day in, day out about their sexuality, about them being 1 minute men, but only 20% of us, or 30%, can go on top of a man and pleasure the man? I mean, we should be realistic. I think that we should take it easy on each other and try to, you know, we should be calming down. Guys, for those who are joining, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. And another food you should eat, one that I noticed that's really amazing and many people haven't noticed: snail meat. If you eat snail meat contains collagen. And not only that, it contains also glycolic acid, which is very similar to the acidity of the vagina. So if you eat snail meat, whew, it will help your vagina tighten well. also stop smoking and taking hard drugs. Also, you should also, uh, oh, thank you, Kaz. Thank you so much. Okay. Also, you should also go to the pharmacy or to also your herbal shop and ask for Glow 2 Color or Centella asiatica. When you find it, make sure you take it as some tea. You'll be amazed of the of the benefits. It's a very powerful plant. I did a whole research on this. When I mean research, I did some findings, reading different books and reading different research articles, and I got to find out that this is a very, very powerful, very, very, very powerful herb. And these days we have them encapsulated. We have them as teas. We have them. You should try them. Amazing. Change your lifestyle. Exercise more. When you exercise, you keep the blood pumping, and this blood pumping will increase the pressure towards your genitals, and you're going to self lubricate more. And the last point on my list is taking homemade Viagra's. I've done a lot of homemade drinks to help. Unlike the other channels or other people, some people will just do all drinks, 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 herbal, homemade Viagra's. There, but they don't really focus on the benefits of what you're taking or explain to you what the benefits are. I do some months in with some homemade Viagra's and some months out teaching you on other health stuff. Okay, look, if you are a lady, even some men have testified to this, cloves tea should be your best friend. Cloves should be your best friend. If you are struggling with hormonal imbalance, vaginal dryness caused by hormonal imbalance, chew on some garlic, honey, and cloves. There are many recipes that can help you. And also, please don't leave out watermelon with the seeds. Don't throw out the seeds. Don't throw out the seeds. And the last for ladies that will help them with, with vaginal wetness or to get to self lubricate is dark chocolate. So those are the points I have to give. Now let me leave some minutes before we go. I want to know if you have any questions. Any questions, please? Do you have any questions in regard to vaginal dryness? Vaginal dryness is not specifically, a woman's thing. Men, look, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. If you're just joining, thanks for joining. And please, I'm not the the button doesn't bite. That subscribe button doesn't bite. Any questions in regards to this? Any questions? I would really, really love to get questions from you. Really, really love to get questions from you. Any question in regards to vaginal dryness? Vaginal dryness, you know, even some guys, please don't use okra. I see a lot of people use okra. And to the best of my knowledge, okra, putting okra down there is not really the best. Another grain that is really good to put up your estrogen levels, especially if you have hormonal imbalance, is chai. You saw the way I took chai, you can take also chai tea. Amazing. Fenugreek. There are many that can enhance your health. I believe in a lifestyle that can improve your health and eradicate an ailment or sickness. I really don't believe so much in taking pharmaceutical drugs. Pharmaceutical drugs, antibiotics, antifungal, antiretrovirals, antiparasitic to eradicate those things, yes. But some these issues like this to eradicate the microorganisms, yes. But these kind of issues shouldn't be a medication issue. It should be something of a lifestyle. If you have high blood pressure, diabetes, and autoimmune disease, stick. That's something that is long term. Stick to a lifestyle treatment and it's going to go away. I told you guys that I know of somebody who have high blood pressure and today that person doesn't have anything to do with high blood pressure. It was all a lifestyle change. Diet, exercise, water, rest, self-care. So, if there is no question, I would love to leave you now. If there is no question, I would love to leave you now. Thank you for joining me in today's class. I remain your seasoned medical microbiologist.